What up, guys? Hope everything is going well. I wanted to do this quick video about this craziness going on in our election. And we haven't seen anything like this since the year 2000. And that was only one state. But this time around, Trump is fighting. He's not conceding. And you don't see that quality in a Republican, even though I don't consider Trump to be a true Republican. But the fact is, he is under the GOP ticket and he's fighting. He's an MMA fighter. He's a boxer. He won't give up until the last punch. And ultimately, I see this going down to the Supreme Court, and Trump is probably going to file all these lawsuits where we may have a situation in mid-December when there needs to be a true winner, whether it's Biden or Trump. It could go to a House delegation where you have 50 votes, and the most votes going to either Biden or Trump will determine the presidency. That's how insane it could be if the Supreme Court doesn't come out with a decision. And long story short, neither of these guys will win after it, because half the country will be like, no, my guy won, Biden. The other half will say, no, Trump won. And when you look at this chaos, when you look at the fact that millions of people are unemployed, millions of people are bankrupt, you have to look at the fact that there is loss of confidence in the system. And that's why you probably saw gold go up like crazy this year. I did have a hedge. I think I did a video a few months ago. I had some long positions, took some profits. I shorted some GLD as a hedge. You know, I think I lost a little here and there, but it wasn't too much of a loss. You know, I've been trading here and there. You know, whenever GLD pulls back, I buy. You know, repeat and rinse. You know, it's been great volatility in the stock market for this year, for gold, for S&P as well. So, you know, that's going well. But anyways, going back to the loss of confidence in the system, where do people go? If you can't invest in real estate because you're scared of the looting, where are you going to park your money? And in my opinion, they're going to do what Warren Buffett did. Warren Buffett bought all this bullion stock a few months ago, right when gold was at its all-time high. And that's where investors are going to go, in my opinion. And, you know, you see interest rates pretty low right now. What is it, like 70-some basis points, 80 basis points on the 10-year? So, you know, eventually when there is a treatment for the coronavirus, official treatment, I mean, right now they're using some steroid and they're using Z-Pak. You know, people who've had pneumonia know, you know, that's what you use. That's what they're using right now. And then some experimental drugs like Trump took. You know, there's also going to be a vaccine. And once that vaccine comes out, you know, sure, the economy is going to recover, but the damage has been done. The looting has been done. So many businesses have been bankrupt. So ultimately, the real winner out of this election will be gold, will be silver, and will be Bitcoin. You know, and now going into this election. So I wanted to touch base on, you know, some people saying, hey, Trump is crazy for challenging this. He's not crazy. And the reason why he's not crazy is because the Democrats have done this time in and time out. If you're from the Chicagoland area, you know how corrupt this Democrat machine is. You know, they've been known to ballot stuff, have multiple votes for dead people, for people that can't even vote. And they get people that can basically be controlled. And a good example of this is actually in the 1960 elections with JFK. So JFK had to win Illinois and Texas in order to become president based on the Electoral College. And the machine under Richard Daley, what they did was they balloted stuff so much that 90% there was a 90% turnout in Crook County. It's actually Cook County, but I always call it Crook County. And that is a weird statistic because usually you see around 65 to 75% of voter turnout, but 90% turnout. And I'm sure some of the districts today have had 90% turnout in some of these small cities or counties in Wisconsin, Michigan. I haven't looked closely at the data, but it's looking like there's a lot of hanky-panky going on. So if someone calls you a crackpot conspiracy theorist, we'll tell them, look at the 1960s. And also, there's people like Andrea Mitchell on MSNBC stating that, hey, this did happen. There was voter fraud. You know, JFK wasn't supposed to be president. And I think a lot of people don't know about this because, you know, JFK was Catholic. And he was the pride of the Catholics in this nation, especially for the Irish. One of my aunts, my white aunt, as I like to say, she has some Irish in her. She's Irish Catholic. And, you know, whenever, you know, they talk about John Kennedy, you know, they have so much pride for him. And I think because of that, the story is not talked about. And one of my buddies is Catholic. And he told me his grandparents never talked about it, even though they probably knew, because, you know, they just loved him so much. You know, despite of his, you know, bad qualities of having multiple women on the side. But putting that aside, we've seen this before here in Chicagoland and also in Texas with LBJ stealing the votes. You know, ballot stuffing is nothing new, and, you know, you get censored for even mentioning history. And ultimately, Trump had all these votes go for Biden, or you had all these votes go for Biden like in 4 or 5 in the morning. I woke up and I saw on my phone, like, how on earth is Biden winning Wisconsin? You know, especially with all this looting going on. But anyways, you know, with this wackiness in our country, I hope it becomes, or it resolves soon, because if you don't, and for instance, if Trump wins, you're going to see riots like you've never seen. And June and July was just, you know, spring training. Now, if Biden wins, you know, you're going to see a bunch of pissed off right-wingers. So it's not a good situation for our country. And yeah, the media is going to cover it up. They're going to call people crackpots. But ultimately, you could still, you know, profit off of this volatility that's about to come, and profit off the fact that, you know, at least for a few years, the stock market should be continuing to do well, because you have divided government if Biden wins, or Trump, you know, who's going to have more stimulus. But anyways, guys, let me know, who do you think is the real winner? And on top of it, do you think there was voter fraud? All right, thanks, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.